Welcome, this is the Roach Sarosia, and I am here today to show you my method of randomizing a seed and build location for the build challenges that I have been doing on my YouTube channel. These build series are fun to do because they inspire you to be a little bit more creative. They pull the inspiration out and actually make you actually be creative to figure out what you're going to create and where you're going to create and what you're going to create on that spot. So we've got my build challenge 1, which I'm actually building in the air because I randomized the spot and it said that I needed to build at 74, which was in the air above the ocean. So we've got a build going on there. And we also have another build on the D&K server, which was at level 48 in Minecraft. So these are for Minecraft. These build challenges are for Minecraft. And I randomized the seed myself rather than having the Xbox do it, because I play on Xbox. And but no matter where you're playing, you can actually have it randomize your seed for you, or you can actually randomize your seed for yourself. Using this method that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. So what you do is, and what you need is a standard deck of cards. So see, I got a standard deck of cards here, and I'm going to use these to randomize my seed. So the basic rules on digits for the seed. So first of all, what you got to do is you've got to figure, so first of all we'll figure the seed and then we'll figure the build challenge location. So and what the rules are behind this build challenge location is your first big epic style build has to be located at the location it is at. So the one that I had at 48 ended up being that at level 48. So the level of the ocean is 63 in the new Minecraft, is level 63. So this was down below ground level or water level. And when I found the location where I was supposed to be, the X, Y, and Z, it ended up being at the bottom of a little bay that was next to the ocean. So both of these builds ended up being at ocean spots, but the one at 48 ended up being in a bay area, whereas the other one, the one that was at 74, was up above the ocean. And I got a weird shadow when I did that. So I've got lights on both sides of me here so that I can get plenty of light on my face, but they were shining so bright at me before that I had to actually turn them a little bit so that they weren't shining so bright. I'm still trying to figure out how to do my lighting and a few other things like that. But I'm coming around and I will eventually get to that point. So what the first thing we need to do is I shuffled these cards up and we're going to start flipping cards. So the first card that we flip is not for actually a digit for the card or for the seed. The first card that we flip is actually for how many digits we are going to have. So this is the paper that I'm going to follow, and I hope you follow it. I hope you can see it. I'm going to actually check this and verify it on my computer. Make sure I run the video so that I know that you guys can actually see this. So I have this little table back over here. And so the seed's the first thing that we figure out, and the first thing is the number of digits that we're going to have. Then we figure out whether it's going to be positive or negative. And then we go through each and every different digit that we need. So for the number of digits with the cards, the first card that I pull up actually is the number of digits. So if it happens to be a 10, that's 10 digits. Face cards An ace is 1 digit, and if you have a face card, a jack is 11, a queen is 12, a king is 13. 13 is the maximum number of digits you do this way. I just don't want to have to go through that many when I'm randomizing, and you get such a variety with just 13 digits. You all automatically have an awful lot of possibilities for maps, especially since we do both positive and negative as possible digit numbers. So that means that you could get quite a few digits, so I'm not too worried about it. I figured that was fine. The 13 was fine to be the biggest number that we could possibly do. I do have some jokers in there. If a joker pops up on the digits, which it hasn't happened and I doubt it will because there's only 2 jokers in the deck. If a joker pops up, then what we will do is we will redraw, but it will be the inverse of that card. So basically what we'll do is we'll take 10 and subtract that card. Now if it's actually you know what we'll do with jokers, because I haven't had a joker come up, so I haven't really been faced with this decision. What we'll do with a joker, if it comes up on the actual digits, is it will be 20 minus that card, at least for the seed. There's also, there's not a digit counter for your location. Your location is always 3 numbers, 2 numbers, and 3 numbers, with the possibility that the first number ends up 0, which makes it so that your first number could be only 2 digits, or your second number could even be 1 digit. It's unlikely, but it could possibly happen. I haven't had it happen yet. I have had fairly low numbers, but I've run this through several times and I haven't had it. In fact, I've ran it through over 10 times. So without further ado, let's get going. Let's figure out this seed. Okay, so the first card is a 7. So we will have 7 digits in our seed. Okay, now the second card is whether the seed is going to be positive or negative. And blue, because my cards are blue and red instead of black and red, but so black would normally be, well, you could look at it either way, whichever one you choose, but black for me is negative, red is positive, or blue is negative and red is positive. So we pull the next card, and it is red. That's all that we really need to know. It's actually the 10 of diamonds, but it is red. So it is going to be a positive seed. And then we have 7 digits to go through. So we'll go through each digit one at a time. The way that the digits work is, if it is an ace through a 9, then it is the value of that card. So an ace is 1. An ace is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, 4 is 4, so on and so forth, all the way up through the numbers. Now, a 10 is a 0. It is actually a 0, so that number ends up being a 0. And then, if you get a face card, a jack, queen, or king, jack, queen, or king are a +1 to the next number you draw. So you can actually accumulate several +1s. So if you get 3 +1s and then you get a 0, then it's actually 3 for that digit. And then a joker is the inverse of the total for the next digit. So like in the example we had 3 +1s and then a 0. Well, or no, it's for the last. Well, anyways, the joker is for the next number. So you have 3 +1s, then you had a joker, and then you got your 0. Then it would be 1 + 1 + 1 + 0, which is 3, and then you would inverse it. So you take 10 minus the number, so 10 minus 3 = 7. So that's the way the digits go. I'm going to go one at a time, and we're going to try and get through this fairly quick, because I don't want to bore you. So we have a queen, which is a +1. So we write that down, we discard that card, and we have a 6. So that is +6, the number is 7. So our first digit for our seed is 7. The second digit for our seed is a 5. So that is a second digit. The third digit is an 8. The fourth digit is a +1, +1, and 1. Now I didn't say that +1 because it's an ace, which actually equals the number 1. So we have that equal to 3. So we are on to the fifth digit. Fifth digit is 3. The sixth digit is 7. And the seventh digit is 9. So there we go. We now have a randomized seed. Now, the build location that you're randomizing follows a similar pattern. You first figure out your x, then your y, then your z. Now, your x coordinate is going to be, the first card is going to be positive or negative, and then you're going to have 3 digits for your x. Then your y is only going to have 2 digits, and you do not draw for a positive or negative. Y is always positive. And then the z is going to be pretty much exactly like the x for what you're drawing for. So the first thing we need to do is x positive or negative. So we pull that out. It is hearts, which is red, so that is positive. First number is 5, or first digit is 5. So we got 5. Then the second digit is 2. And the third digit is 8. So our x-coordinate is 528. Now our y-coordinate is just 2 digits, so we start with the first digit, which is 2. And then we go to the second digit, which is 4. So we're going to be at level 24. That is pretty low. That means we're going to be digging to get down to it. And I wouldn't mind doing one of these. We'll be digging, or we will be actually going around the ocean or through the ocean, or somehow we're going to have to get to the bottom of the ocean and then start digging, because this is going to be below even ocean bottom levels. So now we're going to Z, and that the first card is positive or negative. And it is positive because it is red. So we got all positives on this one. I've had positives and negatives on most of them, so, and you draw for that 3 times. And I got all 3 positives. Pretty good. Alright, so next card. 1 is the first digit. Then we have a +1. It's a jack. And a 2. So that second digit on the z-axis is 3. And the third digit is 7. So the third digit is 7, and we have a seed of 7, 5, 8, 3, 3, 7, 9, and a build location x equals 528, y equals 24, and z equals 137. So this is how we've come up with it. This is what we got. We filled out our chart here, and then we filled out our seed here. So it's 7583379, and the build location is 528, Y24, Z137. And I am going to actually start this build location. We are going to do this build location, and this is the first video on the series that I do with this build location. I apologize for the camera being so close to my head. I zoomed in too far, but as I get more experience doing these videos, that type of thing will get better. And so tune in. We will be doing this build location. We will be doing this series. And being that it's so far underground, I'm kind of thinking lava room. With that, bid you adieu.